There are a few products every year that truly add something new to the game. The Neo does that. It does it really well. It allows you to get really cool shots and, well, hopefully this is one of them. In this video, you're going to find out why I have added this to the Camera Centre UK marketing department's gear bag, with the 3 reasons I think you should get this too if you want to do droning. It's a really cool drone with a lot of flaws and a lot of bonuses, and we're going to go through them. So let's get started. We're actually going to be testing out this beautiful thing right here, which is the DJI Neo. This drone I'm actually super impressed by, and I feel like it adds a new kind of era to drone tech in general. And for one reason, palm control. And that's numero uno, palm control. And it all starts here.
Follow, droning, circle, rocket, spotlight, helix, rocket, 3, 2, 1.
This happens to be my first problem with the actual drone itself, with the fact it doesn't actually give you an indicator in palm mode. At the moment, this could be rectified with firmware as to how full the drone was. So in this location, I actually lost all of the footage I did with each of the modes, but they are very powerful and they just allow you to get a quick shot if you're trying to do something else and, you know, establish where you are. They are powerful, yes, but unfortunately the only shots I've got are these shots from the day I tested out for the first time. On that note, it has 22GB of internal storage, and just making sure you format before you shoot every single time will fix the problem I had with it. Again, that's kind of due to my own mistake, but also something to note. And the first shot was actually using helix, but there is one more thing about this shot that I'll talk about a little bit later. The mode that most people will use will be follow, and this is something that I plan to use quite a bit of because I know it's going to record the shots as it follows me about taking photos, talking to models, showing out a job in a kind of like chilled way. Again, this is, wow, it's a Tyler 2.0 as I like to call it. Sorry, Tyler. And also want to be checking out one of the coolest things, and that's linking to the DJI Mic 2 via your phone, and it will also then cut out the picture of the motors and then also apply that track to the actual video file, which makes it a really useful second shooter and a really useful kind of companion. So this is a really great drone to be able to do quick 2-camera stuff quite easily. I'm using the direction track at the moment on the drone to really be able to show kind of what we can do. Explain a point, talk about something that you're excited about. You've got the ability to really do that with this drone. For example, I'm really excited for what this drone can do. It's another shooter, something that I could... And this is something that happened when I was using it in the preset modes. It would automatically just randomly cut when I was in mid-sentence. Now this can be adapted to work a little bit better via either the firmware or just have a little bit more mind when the drone is coming to the end of its preset cycle. Now the next thing I want to compare here is the DJI's kind of processed audio versus just recording the 32-bit float inside of the mic and then using noise isolation on DaVinci just to cut out the pitch in general. There are a few products every year that truly add something new to the game. The Neo does that. It does it really well. This though is the second reason why I am choosing to have this in my camera bag at all times. So with the spotlight mode, it's kind of like having the camera on an actual gimbal. The Neo does that. It does it really well. It allows you to... And you get similar results, perhaps a little bit higher quality by doing it in the latter way. But for run and gun filmmakers, people that don't want to have the extra step in creating things, it's a really cool added extra. I want more of this DJI. It's really quite powerful. Now, it's all well and good having the ability to be able to get those drone shots, which everyone seems to love. And if I'm honest, when it comes to that side of stuff, this drone doesn't necessarily live up to some of its bigger brothers. But what this does do is, one, teach you how to really fly a drone and understand the general what you can do with it, right? And this comes to my third reason. I wanted to actually have a Neo in my backpack, is because it can teach you. It's not too expensive, so if you want someone to get involved and learn how to fly a drone, this is perfect. The other side is, I've been recently getting into the FPV community more and more, and it's something that I want to build up my confidence with. This drone has a full manual mode that allows you to fly it like an FPV drone with the right equipment. But the other side of it is it actually works as a really nice little sidekick. What you've got here is a very pretty and small light drone that is guarded, so it's not going to be able to do anything kind of destructive to an environment. And because it's so small, you can actually fly it in many different situations. The craziest thing when it comes to the drone in particular is the fact that you can pretty much control it by actually anywhere. And in particular, you can actually control it pretty much like this. For it as a drone, something that I noticed and something that I actually had a lot of problems with whilst shooting this was the fact that it's not necessarily great at high wind situations. There are a number of times when I'm trying to get a shot like a drone shot, but because it's so light, it doesn't handle it particularly effectively. When you're in places like the UK, the weather is a little bit more variable and it kind of takes it a little bit. But that's when I was trying to be a little bit more bold with what I was actually shooting. If you're just using this to be able to get particular shots, you can actually do it really effectively with this drone. And like I said, I'm actually really impressed by it. I kind of was expecting it not to be the best at handling high winds, and to use a drone in high winds anyway is a little bit dangerous in general. My final thoughts is that it's a really great drone. It's not for the people that have had drones of higher quality. It's something which people can very much start off with. It's a drone that I think is a little bit more usable straight out of the box than the other ones, and I think that's what's going to draw people to it. Where I see this in the grand scheme of things, it's going to be absolutely perfect for people who are looking to get into doing droning, that want to try something like FPV or want to be doing something a little bit different. Because that's the other thing here as well, you can actually use this in a manual mode, which allows you to fly very similar to what you would actually fly in an FPV drone. This has a lot of features, and it leaves me excited. It leaves me excited to see kind of what we're going to be seeing next from DJI in terms of drones that are going to be more useful for people like me, content creators that don't necessarily need to have the ability to, that don't want to necessarily be flying the drone and concentrating purely on that. They want to be having decent shots to be able to put through their videos. They want to be able to record audio without having that pitch from the motors inside of it. And I think this is actually a great drone for kids as well. It's a great place to really start off with. Because you have that mobile control as well, you don't necessarily even need to buy the controller setup. I went for, when looking to get this, and this is actually going to become part of my gear bag now, I actually went for the controller kit because I wanted to have a bit more control when I'm out shooting in certain locations, and might even help towards working out kind of like tutorials and stuff like that. So this is a really nice lightweight drone that has very little regulation, that's really great to start off with, that you can pretty much feel safe with flying inside without smashing up anything too expensive. DJI have released a very powerful unit here, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. Anyway, if you like this video, or if you have any questions, or you just want to have a little talk, make sure you put a comment in down below, like the video and subscribe. Hope you've had a good day. See you later. Je ne sais quoi.
My buddy Leon was using a
or like tetanus or something from this room, but it's fine. It's worth it for the shot.
Oh, it looks great.